one show that dominates cable news, The O'Reilly Factor.
Thanks for staying with us. I'm Bill O'Reilly in a personal story segment tonight. It's my theory that all famous people are targets. Any accusations against a well-known person will be immediately printed and discussed. A great example of this is 64-year-old Paul McCartney, one of the richest men in the world who made billions as a singer-songwriter for the Beatles. Now, 4 years ago, Mr. McCartney married a woman named Heather Mills. Now the couple is heading for divorce. Published reports say Ms. Mills wants more than $50 million, and she is accusing Mr. McCartney of all kinds of things to pressure him to come up with the bucks. Now, attorneys for Ms. Mills deny the financial figure, but there's no denying the dirt is flying. The question is, can any famous person protect him or herself from these kinds of attacks? Joining us now from New York, divorce attorney Nancy Shemtab, and from Denver, Sharon Liko, who also handles divorce and family law cases. Counselor Liko, I'll begin with you. Because of the internet and because of the irresponsibility of the print press in particular, any accusation is immediately blown all over the world. And in cases where famous and rich people are involved, people can shake them down, extort them for money just on an accusation. Am I wrong?
No, you're correct, but that isn't just limited to rich and famous people. I see it all the time in divorce cases where the husband has a lot more assets and earning capability than the wife does. So if you've got money, if you have the ability to earn money, you are a target. Okay,
but if you're a regular person, an everyday person, and you are fighting a divorce action or whatever, you're not going to get on the internet, you're not going to be in the newspaper. It might get around your neighborhood or in the office a little bit, but it doesn't become a life-defining moment. And Ms. Shemtab, this is what I'm worried about, is that any famous person now cannot do anything because the accusation hurts them so much that they'll pay it. I know a famous actor, very famous actor, came up to me, we were having a conversation, and said, you know, I paid off 5 or 6 people just because and it wasn't true what they were accusing me of, but I just didn't want to go through it. I mean, so this is basically the extortion industry now, isn't it?
Actually,
who are you asking?
I disagree with what you're saying. It's not the extortion industry. What it is celebrities are no longer allowed to get divorced without an intrusion of their private life. So sometimes is it hush money? That's actually, I think, a better way to phrase the extortion. Does Paul McCartney...
But what if it's hush money about nothing? You see, extortion is, you better pay me something or I'm going to hurt you. And that, you know, hush money is when you do something.
Well,
but
the allegation...
now we live in it. Look, I don't know whether Paul McCartney called his estranged wife names. Nobody does. But she throws it out. It's all over the world. And this guy has got, you know, a life, and now he looks like a total idiot. And because this one wants money. This Heather Mills wants not $50 million, she wants $500 million. And she's going to make it as painful for him until he ponies up. Come on.
Let's just back up for 1 second. Why are you saying that it's extortion? They were married for 4 years. They have a child together. Why not just look at it and say that's what she's entitled to? Nobody's ever taken that.
Entitled to what?
Entitled to money. Under the
How much money?
Whatever the courts would award to her, whatever is her rightful share of the marital asset. And that's one thing that needs to be considered in all of these...
Okay, but Ms. Shemtab, here's the deal. She's going to go into the court and say, this guy worked me over. He was terrible. He abused me. So therefore, I'm entitled to more money. What if it didn't happen?
And what if it did happen? The question is whether or not she is getting divorced because of the abuse. And if it's not alleged abuse, if it actually happened. Here's a woman who got married because she loved him. She said that she did not want to sign a prenuptial agreement. So she had that alternative of saying, you know what, here's a prenuptial agreement, I'll sign one. He said, I'm not going to offer you one. They stayed married.
How do you know that?
Because that's what's been told.
That's what she says. I think he's an idiot for not getting the prenups. But Ms. Liko, you know, a lot of women won't sign them.
Yeah, hang on a second. You want to compare U.S. law to U.K. law. In the U.S., prenups are enforceable, and they are routinely done. In the U.K., prenups per se are not enforceable. If the court determines that they're enforceable by looking at the factors, such as was either party or both parties represented, was there full and fair financial disclosure, is it reasonable, was there undue duress, if they determine that it's valid, then the court can consider it as a factor to consider.
All right. Now I'm getting a headache now. All right, let me ask you this, Miss Chemtop, because you're an interesting guest. 4 years they're married, okay? I saw a concert. Little Heather Mills ran out with a guitar. Looked to me like they were having a good time, at least for the beginning of the marriage. 4 years. All right? How much money is she entitled to, in your opinion? Give me a figure.
That's an unfair question. There's a child.
Why?
Because there's a child at stake. What's not being considered is that there's also a custody issue. And just like you're saying...
No. Above and beyond a child. We'll do the child separately. How much money you ask if you're representing Heather Mills? How much do you ask?
I would ask for the marital pot. Half of the marital pot that was acquired during the 4-year marriage. Anything that he had prior
50% of whatever he made from the time of the marriage on, you want?
Yes. Plus child support.
Plus child support. Is that fair, Ms. Liko?
That's a fair request, but I don't know that it's a fair settlement or that she would get it. While technically she may have a claim to 50%, what England has is a concept called stellar genius and stellar contributions. So the fact that he made this money because of his artistic genius would actually work against her. And
because a lot of the money,
50%.
A lot of the money that came in was stuff that he did way before he ever met her. Interesting. All right, ladies, thanks a lot.
Thank you for having me.
I gotta go.